It was a video that sent chills down the spines of everyone who watched it. A group of deer frozen in place, their ears twitching, as an ethereal white mist streaked across a trail camera. Some say it's nothing more than a trick of light, while others are convinced it's the spirit of a wolf, a guardian of the wilderness. Whatever it is, one thing is clear: this story has captivated thousands, leaving behind more questions than answers. But what led to this bizarre sighting? Who is Marco McDewey, the hunter who captured this haunting footage? And why does he believe this ghost wolf is watching over his land? To understand, we need to rewind and uncover the events leading up to this eerie encounter. Marco McDewey wasn't your average hunter. Born and raised in the quiet town of Newport, Washington, he spent most of his life exploring the dense forests surrounding his family's property. To Marco, the woods weren't just a hunting ground. They were sacred. He'd often tell friends that the forest seemed alive, as though it had its own spirit watching over it. In late October, Marco set up several trail cameras on his land, hoping to track deer movement for the upcoming hunting season. The cameras were motion activated and strategically placed near a small clearing where wildlife frequently gathered. For weeks, they captured the usual footage: deer grazing, squirrels scurrying, and the occasional raccoon rummaging through the underbrush. Nothing out of the ordinary. But that all changed on the night of November 12th. It was a cold, clear night, and the moon cast long shadows across the forest floor. Marco had just settled into bed when his phone buzzed with a notification. One of his trail cameras had captured activity. At first, he ignored it. After all, he'd received dozens of similar alerts in the past. But something compelled him to check the footage. What he saw made his heart race. The video began with 3 deer grazing in the clearing. They seemed calm, their heads dipping and rising as they nibbled at the frost-covered grass. Suddenly, the deer froze. Their ears twitched, and their heads snapped up as if they sensed something unseen. Then, from the left side of the screen, a faint white mist drifted into view. It wasn't smoke or fog. It moved with an almost deliberate grace, like a living entity. The mist passed in front of the camera, and the deer's eyes tracked its movement until it disappeared into the trees. Marco replayed the footage several times, each viewing raising more questions. He noticed something strange about the mist. It resembled the outline of an animal, possibly a canine. The shape was fleeting but unmistakable. Marco's first thought was a wolf, an animal rarely seen in these parts but known to inhabit the surrounding wilderness. However, this wolf was different. It wasn't flesh and blood. It was something else entirely. The next morning, Marco showed the footage to a few close friends. Reactions ranged from skepticism to awe. One friend joked it was just a camera glitch. Another suggested it could be a fog bank illuminated by moonlight. But Marco wasn't convinced. He knew these woods too well, and nothing about the footage felt natural. Word of the ghost wolf quickly spread throughout the small community. Marco decided to upload the video to YouTube, hoping to get opinions from a wider audience. Within days, the clip went viral. Comments flooded in, offering theories both rational and supernatural. It's just a deer breathing in the cold air. The mist? is their breath, one commenter speculated. Look closer. You can see the legs and tail. It's definitely a spirit wolf, another insisted. Maybe it's leftover energy from something that happened in the past. Ghosts can imprint on places, can't they? Someone suggested. Marco found himself at the center of a debate that blended science, folklore, and the unexplained. As the video gained traction, locals began sharing stories of their own strange experiences in the Newport forests. Some recalled hearing unearthly howls at night, while others claimed to have seen glowing eyes deep in the woods. An elderly neighbor, Mrs. Thornton, recounted an old legend about a wolf spirit said to protect the land. They say the spirit appears when the forest is in danger, Mrs. Thornton told Margot. It watches over the animals, the trees, and even the people who respect the land. But it doesn't show itself to just anyone. You have to have a connection to the forest, a respect for its ways. The idea resonated with Marco. He had always felt a deep bond with the wilderness, a sense that it was more than just a collection of trees and wildlife. Could the ghost wolf be acknowledging that connection? Not everyone was quick to embrace the supernatural explanation. Local wildlife experts reviewed the footage, offering their own theories. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a biologist specializing in animal behavior, suggested the mist could be condensation from a nearby stream reflecting moonlight. The deer's reaction could be explained by an unfamiliar scent or sound, not necessarily a ghost, she said. But even Dr. Vasquez admitted that the shape of the mist was unusual. If it is a natural phenomenon, it's one I haven't encountered before, she added. Determined to uncover the truth, Marco set up additional trail cameras around the property. He also began spending more nights in the woods, hoping to witness the phenomenon in person. Max, his loyal border collie, often accompanied him, alerting Marco to any unusual sounds or movements. Weeks passed without incident. Then, on a chilly December night, Marco experienced something he couldn't explain. I kind of felt a pulse. I was feeling something, but I can't explain. It was a bit wild. Max, usually fearless, stopped in his tracks and let out a low growl. Moments later, Marco heard a faint rustling sound, followed by a soft, mournful howl. He turned in the direction of the noise, but saw nothing. Still, the feeling that he wasn't alone was undeniable. As winter deepened, Marco noticed a change in the forest. The strange occurrences became less frequent, and the deer returned to grazing peacefully. It was as if whatever presence had been there was now at rest. Marco couldn't shake the feeling that the ghost wolf had been trying to communicate something, perhaps a warning or a reminder of the delicate balance between humans and nature. Reflecting on the experience, Marco felt a renewed sense of responsibility for the land. He began working with local conservation groups to protect the Newport forests, ensuring they remained a sanctuary for wildlife. And while he never captured the ghost wolf on camera again, its fleeting presence left a lasting impression. Whether you believe in spirits or science, one thing is clear: the natural world is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Marco's story serves as a reminder to respect the wilderness and remain open to the unexplained. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Who knows, maybe the next great mystery is lurking just beyond the trees.